Good morning. It's early in the morning, but before I go to my workout, I want to finish the summaries on this book, No More Mr. Nice Guy. And this last chapter is about living the life you want and the career you want. And the nice guy actually is a guy, and we all have this in us, fear, driven by fear. But the fear of being worthless, the fear of being found out, the fear of not doing it right. There's this deep fear inside of these people who were abandoned and neglected in childhood. And you can't change this though. And the way it shows up is that these people, and this would apply to women too, I'm sure. I want to ask him this when I do the interview today. So excited. That they stay stuck in dysfunctional, unsatisfying relationships and jobs. The common factor at the core of every problem experienced by nice guys is fear. So they're afraid to ask for the raise that's been promised. They're afraid to go back to school to get the education or training that they need. They're afraid to quit a job that they hate. They're afraid to start the business of their dreams. They're afraid from living where they really want to live and doing what they really want to do. And a lot of that comes from having to do it right or trying to be a perfectionist. And I think that comes from not having been loved just for being who you are. I mean, it's one thing to have goals and to have standards and do your best. But if we only do things if we can be perfect, we would never really do much at all. If you read my book, The Fuck List, you'll see that there are typos in it and stuff. And I got, I don't have that problem of trying to be perfect, at least when I'm writing, because I got to the point where I was like, I had to struggle with this myself. And it's never going to be perfect. I was rewriting and editing, and I started hating the book so much. I'm like, you know what? I don't have to be perfect. This was right after my divorce. And, people let me know on the book reviews on Amazon that some of my writing isn't perfect. And they're right. Dr. Glover writes in his book that he's a reformed nice guy. When he was writing his book, No More Mr. Nice Guy, that he spent 6 years writing the book, wanting it to be perfect. 6 years writing the book. He said he had 4 rewrites. He said the original book was actually 4 times its present length. The original manuscript of this book was 4 times its present length. It had 3 major revisions and extensive editing. And, finally, after years of frustrations, he had a breakthrough. And someone suggested to him that he give himself permission to never publish the book. And then he felt relief because the pressure was off, and he started thinking, what if I only asked myself, will this help my clients find answers to their problems? So instead of trying to be perfect in the book, will this book help my clients find answers to their problems? And once he gave up the belief that it had to be perfect, things began to fall into place, and he completed the book. Trying to do it right only sucked the life out of No More Mr. Nice Guy. Letting go and letting it just be good enough set me be free to embrace my passion. So what if there's something you wanted to do, a new job you wanted to try, maybe start your own YouTube channel. I'm not perfect by any means. I just come on here like this. I haven't even brushed my hair this morning. I probably shouldn't tell you that. I'm like, I woke up with a good hair day. I don't want to ruin it by brushing it. I don't have a professional background. You do not need a professional background. There are a lot of YouTubers that just talk in their car, on their phone. I'm just talking on my phone. Some of you may want to start a YouTube channel, or go back to school for something, or take up a hobby you've dropped, a passion you've dropped, stamp collecting, dancing, singing, some kind of craft, baking, I don't know. Okay, so you don't have to try to do it right. Nice guys are obsessed with trying to do it right because they want their life smooth and uneventful, and they want to follow all the rules. But you know, people like me, because I don't follow all the rules. Because when you try to follow all the rules and try to do it right, you end up putting yourself in a box. You're constantly in your head trying to seek other people's approval and robs people of their aliveness. It puts a little any creative energy. Trying to do it right robs nice guys of their creativity and productivity, and it keeps them focused on their imperfections. Seeking external validation and approval keeps nice guys stuck in mediocrity. Attempting to hide flaws and mistakes prevents nice guys from taking risks. Following the rules makes nice guys rigid, cautious, and fearful. Because of these self-imposed limits, many nice guys are dissatisfied, bored, or unhappy with their life and vocation. Yeah, the other thing that nice guys do is they try to do everything by themselves. And I have a lot of compassion for these nice guys, because it breaks my heart when people are mean to their kids. You know, and as much as these nice guys are repulsive to me as adults, if I think of them as little boys, my heart just breaks, because here I'm reading this. That's why I'm tearing up. As children, nice guys did not get their needs met in the tiny, judicious ways. Some were neglected, some were used, some were abused, some were abandoned. Let's see, now why am I crying? I think because I saw my little brother sometimes get abused. Not me, but my little brother. And he's not a nice guy, but he hates women, and he's got issues. And, you know, my dad took out on him because little boys are sensitive. They have feelings. And a lot of men do not like when their little boys have feelings. They shame them for it, or they think it's funny to make them cry, or they hit them for not being manly enough, whatever manliness a little 4-year-old boy is supposed to have. And then maybe you have a mom who has been hurt by men, and she takes it out on the little boy, or she tells the little boy, "You're just like your dad." That's where that's coming from for me. That's where a lot of my love for men, when I do have it, I know I go off on men sometimes. It comes from that. And having my own children and seeing how beautiful little kids are. I mean, yeah, sure, I lost my temper with them too, but you can just be a good enough parent. You will lose your temper with your kids. They will be annoying. But, so these nice guys have these childhoods like that, with parents who were inadequately equipped to raise them properly, so they have all these coping mechanisms. And because they didn't get their needs met, they thought it was bad or dangerous for them to have needs. On the topic of needs, I didn't even know I was allowed to have needs till in my 50s, when I started going to some relationship type of meetup groups. It was a polyamory group, but I'm not polyamorous. I was just going to learn about things. And they had a topic, they were talking about needs. What child is ever taught they're allowed to have needs? What, at home, in school, at work? No one ever talks about us having needs and getting our needs met, or about boundaries. We don't learn any of that stuff. So this is stuff, I think this applies to everyone. I thought it was bad to have needs, and I still struggle with that a little bit in my personal relating with people, you know? This is my breakfast time before the gym. I have coffee and a banana, but I'm not going to talk while I'm eating. Sorry. So because they thought it was bad or dangerous for them to have needs, because their needs were never met, like a baby that cries needs to be fed. If you don't feed the baby, or you don't comfort it at night when it's crying, let it cry it out, and whatever you're taught, kids start to believe that their needs won't be met. They stop asking for things from their parents. And that's me too, because my dad worked all the time. My mom was home, very busy. She had 3 kids in 4 years, and she was very loving. I felt loved by my parents, but they were just very busy. So I learned to meet my own needs. I don't remember my parents ever playing with us, really. I don't think they did that back in the 60s, but when I had a problem, I comforted myself, and that's actually a good thing. But I don't want to go to other people with my needs because I don't think that they're going to be reliable. And usually they're not. It's good to get our own needs met, but I have this too, and I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing, but in a relationship it could be. I don't know. No one ever told me, hey, you don't come to me with your needs. I want you to have more needs. I've never heard that, but hey, okay. But sometimes you do have to have people help you with things and be able to count on people and know you have needs. So this is an area I'm struggling with myself, but I grew up convinced that if they were going to have anything in life, it would be up to them. So they're terrible receivers. They're terrified of asking for help. They're miserable when others try to give to them. They have difficulty delegating to others. I will do this myself. And you cannot grow a business if you want to do everything yourself and you don't trust other people to help you. We have to be able to collaborate. We have to be able to cooperate. We have to be able to work with other people and trust other people. And believe me, when I was a manager before, a lot of people didn't do what they were supposed to. So I was like, okay, did you do this? Did you get this done? So not all people are reliable, but they were all part of the team. So, but because they believe they have to do it all to themselves, nice guys really live up to their full potential. They might be jacks of all trades, but they're masters of none. Also, nice guys will self-sabotage. They undermine their success because they will waste their time. They'll make excuses. Oh, I can't do this because. They don't finish projects. They caretake other people. They get caught up in chaotic relationships. They don't set boundaries. They procrastinate. They also have a distorted self-image. Because their needs were not met in a timely manner, they developed a distorted image to themselves. They thought, well, if my needs aren't met, then I'm not if my needs aren't important, I'm not important. So they have toxic shame. Well, I don't have that. I think that you can have, I don't identify with that for myself, but hey, I'm open to the idea that I have some. The result of this distorted self-image is an emotional and cognitive glass ceiling, because they're afraid to be more than what they think that they could be, because they don't think that they're worthwhile. They also have deprivation thinking. They don't believe they deserve to have good things. They find all kinds of ways to make sure their view of the world is never challenged. They sell it for scraps and think it is all they deserve. They stay stuck in dysfunctional but familiar family systems. They see themselves as victims to the dysfunction of their partners. They have a difficult time seeing that they were attracted to these people for a reason. Why are these men always unavailable? That's me. Or these guys who are like, all these women just, where can you find yourself in that? What kind of people are you attracted to? You might think, well, all people are like this. No, we're just attracted to a certain type of person. We have to, this is we think we're so smart, but a lot of our motives are really hidden from view. But you can tell by the choices you make and the people you have around you what you're actually wanting. Okay. Nice guys really experience the kind of relationships they want because they're bad enders. And also in their jobs, they're attracted to careers and work situations that allow them to recreate the dysfunctional roles, relationships, and rules of their childhood. Nice guys see themselves as helpless victims to these situations. They don't see that they have the choice to leave. I cannot tell you how many people I hear that are like, their job sucks, but they stay. If you have someone, and also guys, do not put up with women coming home from work complaining about their work, because you don't have to put up with that complaining. You're not supposed to be a vomit bag for a woman who created a life that she hates. Really find that very upsetting, these women that emotionally dump. If they don't like their job, they should do something about it. And if you don't like your job, you should do something about it. You have to be able to face your fears and take responsibility. Most folks, nice guys included, do not consciously take responsibility for creating the kind of life they want. Most people just accept where they are and act as if they have little power in shaping an exciting, productive, and fulfilling life. I encourage nice guys to visualize creating a life where they do what they love and get paid for it. Most of them have difficulty with this concept. They act as if I'm asking them to believe a fairy tale. So you just have to tell yourself that no matter what happens, you can handle it. You can ask for that raise or promotion. You can quit an unsatisfying job. You can start your own business. You can go back to school. You can confront a conflict situation. You can promote an idea or something you have created. You can pursue a lifelong goal. You can spend more time with a hobby or interest. If there's something else you want to do, carve out some time every day or on the weekends to pursue this particular thing. Just take one little thing and add it to your life. Something you've always wanted to do, end something you've always wanted to end, confront something you've always wanted to confront. That's how you get your aliveness. People say I have aliveness because I've done a lot of this stuff myself. But that will get your creativity and your aliveness going. And let's see, is there something else I wanted to say? So that's going to wrap up my last review of this book. I'm going to put these all in the playlist for No More Mr. Nice Guy. And thank you for watching my video.